So this is my video on the Bartok Violin Concerto No. 2. And those of you who are familiar with the violin repertoire know that the Bartok Second Concerto is one of the several most difficult concertos in the violin literature. And just looking at this like through my camera here versus my eyes off the printed page, God, this looks even more difficult than it really is. As you can see here, I have tons and tons of pencil markings, including bow strokes for like just about every note on this page, because it absolutely requires that you use a certain up or down bow stroke so you can be on the correct one, in order to have the continuity and not break continuity, because this whole thing moves very, very fast, and for certain accents and so on and so forth, as you're playing the notes, you have to be on a certain bow stroke. And I also have fingerings and other markings here on the page as well. So it's been a long time since I learned this or practiced it, but I'll go ahead and play the first page and then an excerpt from towards the end of the first movement. Not perfect, but maybe it'll do. Okay, so let's move on here to the cadenza. And the cadenza looks a little bit more playable. This part right here is a holy terror, extremely difficult. So let's see if I can do it after not having really practiced it for a long time. There we go. Broken bow here. And the last part of that, you could probably tell when I continued playing. And the orchestra has come back in by that point. And for the final selection from this, the end of the movement, which is the last page, which is full of chords and double stops and even more tricky stuff. So. And with those last bars, you can probably tell that was would be appropriate for like the percussion to be there, drumming on the bass drums, and that would be correct. Ba-da-da-da-dum ends the whole movement. Anyhow, so that is part of the first movement of the Bartok Violin Concerto number 2. And as you can see, not just here on the last page, but on all these other pages that I did not play that page, but some of these other pages that I did not play, there's still a good amount of all this stuff in here is very, very difficult and requires practicing very slowly and deliberately and carefully. And if you look really closely, you see I have finger numbers marked in here and so on and so forth, in pencil of course, so I can erase, because that's one of the things that you do in your study of the violin. Is music is written and fingerings and things are written down in pencil, because most likely over time you will develop new fingerings, new bowings or whatever that are better and more efficient and help you play the passages more quickly and fluently if they happen to be like fast, difficult passages. And then you can see in some portions here I have this quiet, these whole few lines have to be very quiet. What you heard me play earlier, the beginning and then the last portion, that all of that is very loud. But I'll go ahead and play one of the quieter parts of this first movement as well, just to give you an idea of, this piece is really weird. It's got like, it's loud, surrounded by, a few quieter passages here and there, but anyhow. So. And it's back to loud again. So. And so on and so forth. And then finally, after all that simmers down, then we're back to. on to more loud stuff again. So anyway, this video has now gone over 10 minutes, and I'm sorry because I wanted it to be like kind of short and sweet, but it didn't end up being that way. So anyway, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching. Bye.